tape delay from Pigeon Forge again. The Sports Economy Show is on. And here, we're discussing Nico, the subject that seems to never end. Because I just did a show the other day with my nephew about Nico.
Yeah.
What's Nico's last name?
I can't pronounce it.
I'm going to leave you.
That's what Bill calls it.
But, hey, that's what my nephew called. I talked to the guy who plays for Division III college. That's what he said. That's because nobody knows how to pronounce it. So they just say, it's Nico, I'm going to leave you.
This is exactly what he did.
That's what he did do. Why did he just decide to up and leave Tennessee?
Well, what's the reason in most cases?
When they say it's not about the money,
it's all about the money.
It's all about the money.
I'm gonna tell you right now, somebody owes me $50.
I'm gonna break a kneecap.
I want my money.
I'm gonna break your kneecap. I have been through a situation where somebody owed me $50, and I wasn't happy about it.
No,
it went on for 6 months.
No written agreement.
It's a handshake.
We all know. You owe me $50. That's it.
That's right. You know, and I know. That's right.
So yeah, it's always about the money.
It's all about. That's the moniker of our show. When they say it's not about the money, but the reason people suspect that his dad and his other advisors got him to leave is because Tennessee wouldn't up his NIL deal for $4 million a year.
Hey, look, let me just give a quick breakdown, because when Bill came to me and was like, "Hey, let's talk about this topic with Nico," I literally had to be like, "Who the hell is Nico? Right? Who the hell is?"
You got to be kidding!
I knew.
Oh wait! You're not a Southeastern Conference fan, so therefore that's why you wouldn't know.
I knew the kid in college. He was a quarterback at Tennessee, but I don't know. It's just like it didn't hit me when you first said it, and then when you said he's a quarterback at Tennessee, I was like, oh yeah. So for those of y'all who don't know, I'm gonna give you a little backdrop real quick.
This is why he has notes and I don't know.
Right. So no. So basically, he was a quarterback at Tennessee. He jumped up and left, and apparently they didn't give him the money that he was supposed to get. Basically, his father said something about it?
No, he was being paid $2.14 million by the school or the collective. I don't know what it was. He wanted $4 million, and his coach said, Nico. No, Nico.
Kick rocks.
Yes, right, kick rocks. So he
get out of here. He's gone.
He's gone. So now he's searching for a better deal.
And so yeah. So last year he only had 19 touchdown passes, threw for 2,600 yards, and they actually got to the playoffs. Lost to Ohio State, who actually won the national championship.
You're gonna lose the championship. And he did play he played as good as he possibly could in that game.
Right.
He did.
I mean, Ohio State wasn't exactly giving up a lot of stuff in the playoffs last year. They were basically kicking ass and taking names. They weren't playing around in the playoffs, so the kid did pretty well.
Yeah.
He's a 5-star recruit in 2023. Has a brother who's supposed to be a high recruit. And, but did you know what I didn't know doing my little research?
Yeah.
Is that because he decided to leave in spring, he can go to another SEC team. Do you know that?
Yes, I do know about that.
Yeah, that's to me, I feel like that's a good rule.
Yeah, that is a good rule. That's to keep coaches from poaching other players, because you know that would never happen ever.
Yeah, no, not in the SEC.
But that is finally like, wow, they have some sort of rule. Wow, because if he could, he'd be playing for Lane Kiffin right now down at Ole Miss.
Right, it'd be cutthroat.
Yes,
I can see in the ACC. I can see somebody from Carolina. If you could leave to go to the same conference opponent. The coach called your mom a whore. You should come here to North Carolina. that coach at Duke ain't shit. You come over here, we'll treat you like family.
We'll treat you like family.
Yeah,
That's
you
right.
know, instead of that, SEC has a rule if you don't do it before December, which is kind of bogus because you still haven't played the bowl games yet.
Yeah, so you can enter the transfer portal before you play bowl game. And then it's like, oh, they want me to go to this other school. They're going to give me all this money, but they told me I need to sit out the bowl game.
Right. Which to me, I feel like they got to come up with something because I don't think it's fair. Do you think it's fair?
No, I think this whole Nico thing right now, they're going to come up with some rules. The SEC and the Big Ten, which are the only people that matter,
Yeah,
they're going to sit down and say, we're going to come up with some rules. That's my guess. They have to.
Well, okay. Here's my personal opinion. With the NIL, there's too much power being given to people who haven't really did anything yet. Like think about how big Cooper Flag is.
Yes.
Right? But Cooper Flag, I give it to him. He got duped to the damn Final Four.
Yeah.
They were this close to getting to the championship game. Now, do I think he is the next coming to Larry Bird? I don't. I do not.
That was funny. I don't.
I've heard comparisons and all that
How
stuff.
about one of the Barry kids?
Who?
One of the Barry kids.
One of the Barry, the Barrys, they had
like 6 of those guys running around the NBA.
And all of them, none of them were great.
Yeah.
But all of them played in the NBA for like forever.
Yeah.
They were good players.
Yeah.
They were good college players. But
he's not Tim Duncan, folks.
No. He's a good player. Is he transitional? I think
But in his division, he's only 18 years old.
Right.
He could be great when he's 30.
Now he did. They couldn't ask for much more than what the results of what their season was, except the national championship.
Yeah.
But before he even before he dribbled the ball on the court at Duke, look at all of the stuff that he was given from the get-go. So it's like you're giving too much power to these young kids based off of them playing against guys that shouldn't even be playing basketball.
Based off YouTube highlight videos.
Right, high school
That's
kids
it.
who may have one guy who goes to college.
Yeah.
And this kid is damn 6'10". How many high schoolers do you know that are 6'9", 6'10"? Right.
Zero.
If you see a 6'9" guy walking down the hallway in a high school, chances are he's the tallest one in the school.
He's better than everybody in his whole city of high schools.
Right.
Yeah.
So when you are playing another team from another high school, chances are you're better than everyone else. Yeah. So when you go to college, everybody's on the same level as you. So when you give him all that power, chances are it could go south. So maybe the reason why it's so easily broken is because the schools don't want to obligate themselves either.
Yeah. So Nico, great player, goes to Tennessee. So I heard somewhere they were giving him money in high school because they wanted him to sign.
Oh, I'm sure.
I'm sure. So he goes there, then he redshirts. They're paying him $2 million a year to be a redshirt. Goes and plays one season. They're still getting his 2 point whatever million. They probably would have gave him a little bit more, but they weren't going to double what he was getting.
No,
because that's a lot, folks.
That's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
And where does it end?
That's the deal. Where does it end?
So is he going to want 3 times the amount of money in his junior year?
But here's the deal. The SEC and the Big Ten, they have just as much TV money as the NFL.
Yeah.
Don't they?
Yeah.
We did a show on the TV contracts.
Yeah.
And they aren't really getting much less than the NFL is.
Bill, do you remember when we were teenagers and everybody used to say, that college is just better than the pros because they just play for the love of the game, right?
No,
everybody knew it's a Crockett.
I looked at it as they play hard because they're trying to impress the scouts to get to the pros.
Right.
That's the way I've always looked at it. That's why they play hard.
Right.
And when you get to the pros, you're like, hey.
Right. Now I made it.
You play like Sean Kemp, Stephon Marbury. Hey. Latrell Sprewell.
I'm a pro now. Latrell Sprewell. I could choke my coach. Couldn't do it when I was in college. I was waiting to do it.
I ain't coming to your practice.
Where?
I play the games. Was that Allen Iverson said that?
Oh yeah, Allen Iverson. But look, I will say Allen Iverson was one of the greatest players ever.
He was great. Allen Iverson was great.
Yeah.
And granted, I would probably give him some slack on practice because he needed all of his skills because the teams were bad.
Yeah, it was always Allen Iverson in them.
Yes,
that's what it was. It was like at one point he had the Dikembe Mutombo who was averaging like 5 points a game, but he had like 12 blocks a game, but and like 20 rebounds. But then nobody else on the team could shoot, so it was really Allen Iverson. Yeah. So I will say, we talk about practice.
All right, so we gotta get back to the NIL. No contracts, no agreements. We just hope you show up. Collectives, these guys, they come up with money, so you got to go down to the local hardware store and make an appearance. But you don't want to go to the local hardware store, so you just phone it in. Say, here, just put me on a speaker and I'll talk to the crowd. Hey, folks, thanks for coming down to Rouse Plumbing and Heating. Be sure and stock up.
Yeah. Go on to Raheem's Rib Joint.
Raheem's Rib Joint.
They got the best ribs and barbecue sauce in town.
That's right.
I eat there all the time.
Mention my name, he'll give you $1 off your value meal.
Right,
Yeah.
So,
but that's what they got. So there's got to be something to change. Anyway, well, I think this whole Nico thing is going to set into motion contracts. Look, all right. You go down and you buy a car.
Yeah.
Which I've experienced before.
Yeah.
They don't let you just walk off the lot with say, we'd really appreciate if you'd come on down and make that monthly payment.
Right.
No,
they want the money.
No, we want you to sign here. Here.
Right. The initial here.
That's right.
You sign us over stuff, you don't even know what the hell you signed.
You don't know. Just remember, if you don't make this agreement, we will be visiting you in a court of law.
But
after we take your car.
But I wonder if it's a lot like a car dealership. You know how when you see the car, you see the sales, you see the ads, and you go in and be like, oh, I can get that car for $35,000. That's a good deal. And you go in there and they go, oh yeah, this car is $35,000. And then when you go to sign the final papers, you be like, damn, why am I paying $43,000? Well, because of this and this, and that's $1,000. This is that.
You want air in your tires, don't you?
Right. That costs you.
That's $100 a tire.
So I wonder if it's a little bit like that. It's smoke and mirrors. It's all smoke and mirrors. Maybe the players are like, tired of it. But I don't know. In my personal opinion, I just feel like it's just too much. I feel like they need to come up with some kind of.
There's got to be something like
regulations
in the NFL and the NBA, and Major League Baseball. You can quit at any time,
right?
But you can't go down the street and say, "Hey, I want to play for you."
That's right.
Because because you have a binding contract.
So what? Have you heard the rumors about where this kid's going?
Well, the rumor started by, I assume, Colin Cowherd, whose studio is in SoFi Stadium, also known as where the LA Rams and the LA Chargers play.
Yeah.
Started this rumor.
Of what?
Of going to UCLA. It's a rumor. UCLA has not said he's coming here. Now, they may have talked to him, but he ain't going there.
Yeah, well, and if he does go there, are they going to pay him what?
No. They said the quarterback that they have is already making $1 million. So, I mean, they'll say, oh, yeah, we want Nico. He threw 19 touchdowns last year. We're going to give him $4 million. Now, I watched the dude on YouTube, and he looked up Tennessee's offense. Tennessee was like 13th or 15th offense last year. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
UCLA's offense was 128.
Ooh.
Okay.
I've actually watched UCLA a few times last year. I think they got the Foster. He used to play with the Carolina Panthers.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think he's their head coach.
There's another thing.
They're not good.
There's something else I want to bring up. TV time is worth money. TV time will, as far as your games being on TV every week in a known place every time.
Yeah.
And scouts can just sit at home and watch you play as opposed to trying to hunt you down on TV or go watch you play wherever. It's a lot easier. It's like, hey, we get to watch him on TV every week. You know, we can do this, do that. But, you know, UCLA, how many games were UCLA on network TV versus having to track them down on some internet service? ESPN 3 Plus.
Yeah, UCLA is not doesn't have the cachet that they had back in the 70s, but they still are a big program. Although the what is it? Is it the Pac-12 now?
No, UCLA's in the Big Ten.
Oh, that's right. They did move to the Big Ten. That's right.
Look, get your conferences straight.
And they're getting blown out like left and right because they're in the Big Ten now. But they still are a top. Yeah, so they'll be on TV. If he did go to UCLA, he would be on TV on a regular, but not like Tennessee.
Tennessee's guaranteed to be on one of 3 networks: ABC, ESPN, ESPN2, SEC Network, which is a national network.
Right.
So yeah, they're on SEC Network and they play Kentucky.
All right, I forgot Kentucky had a football team.
So does everybody else. You know, watch the message boards. Everybody complaining. Even the coach, like, y'all gonna have to get me some NIL money. We can't get any good players in here.
Listen, let me just tell you about Bill here.
No, JP. This is JP, by the way. I forgot to introduce him.
Yeah. So it's end of September. We're in the heart of football season, and you know what Bill says?
Schedule just came out for Kentucky. Basketball, not football.
We're 19 days till Midnight
Madness.
Midnight
Madness.
He's like,
he is not making this up.
I am not.
This is true.
It is almost like football season does not exist when you compare it to.
You know what I spend most of my time on YouTube watching?
What?
The portal for Kentucky basketball. Dude, it's just portal stuff right now. I mean, it's all over YouTube. It's great. Yeah. Basketball never ends.
I swear it took me years to get used to Bill with this. It's like
you just walk into me and you look at me like, what are you talking about? The NFL starts in 2 days. Yeah.
I guess I'll watch it. But
I know that.
He is the happiest person in the world when Kentucky starts bouncing that ball on the court.
That's right. James is so happy when April's over and the Mets are in first place.
Oh. Yeah, we'll be in first place for a day.
Hey, they beat the Cardinals last night. They were beating them today. I don't know what the score is right now.
Yeah.
Look at your fancy phone over there.
It's just easier to deny as a Mets fan, and then they actually are good. Then it's actually a plus.
Yeah.
But if we just deny that they're going to be good, it just doesn't get your hopes up. The moment you say, "I think we can win it," the Mets go, "Oh my drink! We're going to show you a new way of losing."
One of your recycled pitchers, Steven Matz, pitched 7 shutout innings against Houston the other night for St. Louis. You didn't even know he was playing for St. Louis.
I didn't. I thought Steven Matz retired like 4 or 5 years ago.
Now, he can only pitch till June and he's done. But he'll get you 3-4 good starts.
But apparently everybody that leaves the Mets and goes to the Cardinals actually does well.
Well, no, not Steven Matz. Like I say, he's been there. This is his 3rd year. He literally will pitch up until June. He'll get hurt, and that's it.
He did better with y'all than with the Mets. Tell you that. Anyway, so yeah, I just feel like there need to be some kind of regulations. If they don't get to a point where there's regulations, you're gonna have 18-year-olds coming out of high school making more money than NFL players.
Than Aaron Rodgers.
Right. Pro Bowlers.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, and then, you know what, you brought up a good point. It used to be teams did shady stuff to get guys on campus.
Yeah.
Like, this kid comes from the project. but he's driving around in this,
Kelvin Sampson.
$35,000 car.
I know what you're going to say, Kelvin Sampson.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
So and they're like, well, how did they get these cars? And that's what it used to be in our day. Mm-hmm. And now, I saw a thing with University of Texas football team. Their whole parking lot had like extravagant cars, like $50,000 cars and trucks, and they were the players' vehicles.
The players are given vehicles. I think it was Utah State give their whole team brand new Dodge pickup trucks a few years ago. Yeah,
I mean,
this is where it's at. That's a great deal.
It's too much. Somewhere down the line, you got to draw.
But there has to be some rule. If they want money, give them money, fine. But there has to be some sort of rule because, the portal's crazy. Like, wow, we played here, but then we're going to go around the portal, and if it don't work out, we'll come back.
Right. So but I mean, they gotta come up with some kind of rules, or else you'll have. I don't know. Can players strike? You can't strike in college.
If they get a collective going, a collective bargaining agreement, then they can strike. They don't have a collective bargaining agreement. Northwestern, which is in Chicago in the Big Ten, they were trying to get a collective bargaining agreement with their school, the football team was. Then they can go and strike.
Yeah,
that's a whole nother deal. I want to do a show on that one.
Yeah,
nobody will watch that show because it's really boring.
It's just an interesting topic, and it's a lot of stuff that just it just doesn't make sense. It just is literally like everybody's just doing whatever they want to do and signing this or signing that, but none of it is being where they're stuck to it, and it's just too much.
Yeah. There's only one rule, and that rule is that during that 10-day thing that's going on right now, you can't sign within conference. That's the only rule there is to any of this.
Yeah. As soon as the season's over, I don't know how coaches actually build a team.
Oh, it's awful.
You don't know who's going to be on your team.
I was listening to this is something reported by I think it was Oklahoma coach. He was in practice, and players' agents are calling him. Like, look, I don't have time for this. So teams have general managers now. But I'm thinking about it, you're a head coach. You got these players, scouts calling you, wanting more money or wanting this or wanting that. That's awful.
It's just too much.
Yeah. So is that our show for today?
That's all I got.
Our show for today is we have solved nothing. We've discussed rumors beyond the deal. I think we should start an NFL, or not an NFL, a college football rumor show. Just that's all it is, just rumors every day.
We should just start rumors.
Rumors, yeah.
It doesn't matter what sport. Just say, you know what?
Shaquille
O'Neal is coming back to the NBA.
That's right. He's going to be the pizza guy, handing out pizzas during one of the entertainment events. Here's a pizza. You get a pizza. You get a pizza.
You know what?
And he's coming back.
Let's just make up a bunch of crap.
We can do it.
That's what it is when you log into on your phone. It's
dumb
all stuff you go on.
Dumb stuff.
X. People all putting on stupid stuff on it.
Well, the whole thing about UCLA, none of that's true, but everybody believes it. It's not true at all. So, all right, folks. Well, that's our show for today. Thank you for tuning in to Bill and JP on our great Sports Economy 101 show. And remember, like and subscribe because we need a gazillion dollars because we want to go in business with Shaq.
So long, everybody.